Question 21. A developer needs their application code to talk to models, agents, and connected tools through one consistent programmatic service tied to their Foundry project. Which option should they build against? A. The Foundry project SDK client. B. Raw HTTP calls to each model's private preview endpoint. C. A spreadsheet macro. D. The billing export API. Pause the video now if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. The Foundry project SDK client. Why A is correct. The question asks for a single consistent programmatic surface that can access models, agents, connected tools, resources associated with the Foundry project. The Microsoft Foundry SDK, AI Projects Client, Foundry Project Client, is specifically designed for this. Microsoft describes the Foundry SDK as a unified SDK that exposes Foundry project APIs through a single project endpoint, providing access to models, agents, tools, memory, search, and project resources. Question 22. A team wants an assistant that can autonomously plan and execute a sequence of steps toward a goal, deciding which tools to invoke along the way rather than entering a single prompt. Which construct do they build? A. An agent. B. A block list. C. A stateless completion call. D. A scoring profile. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. An agent. Why A is correct. The scenario describes something that can plan a sequence of steps, work toward a goal, decide which tools to use, execute actions along the way, go beyond a single prompt response interaction. That is an agent. In Microsoft Foundry, agents can use tools to take action such as searching the web, running code, querying data, or calling APIs. The model powering the agent can decide whether to invoke a tool based on the agent's instructions and available tool definitions. Question 23. An assistant must summarize lengthy legal contracts into a fixed JSON schema with name fields so a downstream system can parse the result reliably. Which technique best guarantees the shape of the output? A. Translate the contract first. B. Return the raw contract text. C. Ask for a free-form paragraph summary. D. Request structured JSON output constrained to the schema. Pause the video now if you don't want to hear the answer yet. Correct answer, D. Request structured JSON output constrained to the schema. Why D is correct. The requirement is summarize legal contracts, produce a fixed JSON schema, ensure a downstream system can parse the result reliably. The best approach is to use structured output, sometimes called JSON mode, schema constrained output, or structured generation. So the model is required to return fields that match a predefined schema. Question 24. A search experience over product manuals returns technically correct passages, but often not the single best one first, hurting answer quality. The team wants the top results, ordered by true relevance, to the question. Which addition helps most? A. Enabling the semantic re-ranker. B. Increasing the embedding dimension count only. C. Switching the storage tier. D. Adding more replicas to the search service. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. Enabling the semantic re-ranker. Why A is correct. The problem isn't that relevant passages aren't being found. The problem is that the best passage is not being ranked first. A semantic re-ranker takes the initial set of retrieved results and uses deeper semantic understanding to reorder them by true relevance to the user's question, prompting the most useful passages to the top. Azure AI Search specifically identifies semantic re-ranking as a mechanism for improving relevance after keyword and vector retrieval, helping surface the most relevant results first. This often leads to better top-ranked search results, higher quality RAG answers, improved grounded context for the LLM, and better user satisfaction. Question 25. A company needs to generate short video clips from text prompts for internal storyboards. Which model category should they select from the catalog? A. A text embedding model. B. A text-to-video generation model. C. A speech recognition model. D. A re-ranking model. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer: B. A text-to-video generation model. Why B is correct? The requirement is generate video clips from text prompts for storyboards and visual concepts. A text-to-video generation model is specifically designed to create video content from natural language descriptions. Question 26. An agent must call a partner's inventory service that publishes a machine-readable interface description. The team wants to register that whole interface as a callable capability with minimal custom glue. Which tool integration approach fits? A. Register the service via its open API specification. B. Paste the API docs into the system prompt. C. Use a text-to-speech connector. D. Store the endpoint URL in a block list. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer: A. Register the service via its open API specification. Why A is correct? The key clues are: the partner service publishes a machine-readable interface description. The team wants minimal custom glue code. The agent should treat the service as a callable capability. An open API specification is a standard machine-readable description of a REST API. Foundry agents can use OpenAPI defined tools so the agent understands available operations, parameters, request-response schemas, authentication requirements. This allows the API to be registered as a tool with far less custom development than manually building function definitions. Foundry tooling supports OpenAPI-based tool integrations for agents. Question 27. A team is choosing between fine-tuning a model and using retrieval augmentation to keep answers current with frequently changing internal data. Which factor most favors retrieval augmentation here? A. There is no source data to reference. B. Latency must be reduced below any network call. C. The content changes often and must stay current without retraining. D. The task needs a fixed writing style baked into weights. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer: C. The content changes often and must stay current without retraining. Why C is correct? This is the classic scenario where retrieval augmented generation, RAG, is preferred over fine-tuning. With RAG, documents are stored in a knowledge source, such as Azure AI Search. The latest content is retrieved at query time. The model uses the retrieved information to generate answers. When the source documents change, you update the data, store, index, instead of retraining the model. This allows answers to stay current as policies, procedures, manuals, and internal documents evolve. Question 28. A team wants an assistant to remember a returning user's stated preferences across separate sessions on different days. Which capability must be added beyond per session state? A. A higher temperature setting. B. A stricter content filter. C. Persistent long-term memory keyed to the user. D. A larger context window on the same model. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, C. Persistent long-term memory keyed to the user. Why C is correct? The question says the assistant must remember a user's preferences across separate sessions, on different days, for the same returning user. Session state or conversation history alone is not enough because it typically disappears when a session ends. To accomplish this, the assistant needs persistent long-term memory associated with the user, allowing it to store and retrieve preferences such as preferred language, favorite products, communication style, user settings, personal preferences. Microsoft Foundry memory is designed to provide continuity across sessions and retain user preferences over time. Question 29. An enterprise wants to expose an existing Azure AI search index to an agent so the agent can look up grounded facts as one of its actions. Which integration should they configure? A. Attach the index as a knowledge search tool on the agent. B. Copy the index into the system prompt each turn. C. Replace the agent with a translation flow. D. Convert the index into a content filter. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. Attach the index as a knowledge search tool on the agent. Why A is correct? The scenario states the organization already has an Azure AI search index. The agent should be able to look up grounded facts. The lookup should be available as one of the agent's actions tools. In Foundry, the proper approach is to expose the Azure AI Search Index as a knowledge search tool that the agent can invoke when it needs information. Agents can use tools to query external data sources and ground their responses in enterprise content. Question 30. A team must pick between deploying a general chat model versus a code-specialized model for an assistant that primarily explains and refactors source code for developers. Which choice best matches the workload? A. An embedding model. B. A speech-to-text model. C. A code-specialized model. D. An image generation model. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, C. A code-specialized model. Why C is correct? The assistant's primary job is to explain source code, refactor code, help developers understand implementations, generate or modify code. A code-specialized model is trained and optimized for software engineering tasks, including code explanation, code generation, refactoring, debugging assistance, test creation, documentation generation. Because the workload is heavily focused on programming, a code-specialized model will generally provide better results than a general-purpose chat model. If this was successful, please like and subscribe so that you get notified when I've released new questions.